You want to change the law?
How does it hurt how does it hurt a heterosexual family?
Okay, you want to use the argument of equality. Okay, let's start from there. If I'm a niece and an aunt and I want to get married, or if I'm a brother and a sister and I want to get married, or I'm 3 men and 2 women and I want to get married, if it's all about equality and people should be treated the same, why not allow that to happen? Why not allow, any combination of people or circumstances, situation? If it's all about equality, then let's just let anybody, any number, any way get married if that's what it's about. And you say, well, that's different. No, it's not different.
Well,
it's the same.
It is a specious argument.
No,
it is one that is always put out because there is no movement in this country that is something that is supported by the vast majority of Americans to push polygamy or anything else. But
sorry. You know you're wrong. Don't look at me as if there's no argument. There's court cases right now in courts, in federal courts and state courts, by polygamists. Numerous court cases.
But let me finish. But in those senses, in those cases, we have seen that, in fact, there is harm. There is difficulty when it comes to breaking up those families. What happens to children with multiple families, multiple mothers, multiple fathers? With a gay couple or a lesbian couple, how are they affecting other people and other people's children? And how are they affecting that family unit? How does it affect you?
Answer me that question. How are polygamists affecting other people and other people's children?
Because I think we have a concern for the children in those families. And we certainly have concern for the women in those families who are, many of those women in the polygamous compounds are forced into those marriages.
You're answering the question by not answering it. You asked me the question is how is same-sex marriage affecting other people? And so I asked you the question, how are polygamous marriage affecting other people? And you said, well, they affect the people in that relationship. That's not the answer. Answer the question you asked me. How are polygamous marriages affecting other people?
Well, they're not affecting other people's lives. They're not affecting other people's lives, but they are affecting the people involved. We see the women who are forced into it. We see the children. No, we have a concern for that. How are gay relationships adversely affecting the people in those relationships who decide to live their lives as they feel God intended them, and those children?
Of course you know that abuse in gay relationships is higher than in heterosexual relationships. It's absolutely clear about that. Sexual abuse, violence to children is higher in those relationships. It's fact.
There are no facts on that. There are no studies that show that at all. Tell me the studies that show there are children more abused in gay households?
Of course. Oh, you don't believe there's any child abuse in gay households? Ever?
I didn't say any. You said there are more abused in gay households. What we know, sexual abuse is higher among heterosexual men with young girls.
False.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely false. It's that sexual abuse within relationships between partners is higher in the gay community, in the lesbian community, that is in the heterosexual community. It's true. Fact.
There are no studies that you can point to. Can you point to them?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, many.
And children in families of heterosexual families are not abused?
Since there is a smaller universe of children in homosexual and lesbian families, it's a much more difficult thing to quantify. But it would come to follow that if there is a higher incidence of abuse of partners in gay relationships and lesbian relationships,
well, I just read a study that, in fact, of lesbian, gay male, and heterosexual relationships, children who did the best were the ones in lesbian relationships, lesbian families.
I'd love to see that study. The bottom line is, you asked me a question that you can't answer with respect to polygamous relationships. If you do open it up to same-sex relationships, polygamy is next, other things are going to be next. You have deconstructed marriage to mean nothing. If you're interested in rights, fine.
Marriage has been changed dramatically over many years.
No, it hasn't.
Women are now freer in marriage. Women have rights. Divorce is allowed.
No, wait a minute. Marriage has not been changed other than no-fault divorce. Marriage has not been changed over the centuries. Marriage has remained a constant. One man, one woman for the support and nurturing of children and the establishment of families. But I have to go to another interview. Thank you.
One last question. Do you agree that we are moving, though, toward full marriage rights for gays? We have 2 states that now support it, that now make it legal. We now have more states on the agenda.
I think that it is moving in that direction, and that is why I'm for a federal marriage amendment, because that's the only way to stop it.
Well, I want to thank you for talking to me.